Hi guys, welcome to this video. This is an unexpected turn of events, but if you follow Noel over here, you know that Noel does 20 questions with costumers across the community,
I do.
costuming friends, to introduce them to the community. And today we are flipping the tables, and we are doing it to Noel. So Noel at Costuming Drama, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Sure. I have a channel called Costuming Drama. I'm also costuming drama on Instagram. I do costuming vlogs and travel vlogs and making stuff videos. Yeah, that's what I do.
You do everything.
I do all the things, which is probably very confusing to my viewers. So if you would like to be confused, come on over.
Yeah, I will link Noel's channel up here in the cards. Is it
Oh,
always
thanks.
uploaded? And down there in the
We're
description.
there.
Yeah. In case you've watched my recent videos, I'm always mentioning Noel because Noel is basically my guru in life, and she got me to make a Disney dress and every good thing in the world, basically.
Yeah, I
Uh,
just made a playlist for that, like, right before this video, and I added your
oh yay!
progress
I'll
so
link
far.
that too. There'll be lots of links, guys.
Yeah.
Get ready. So these 20 questions. So in case you don't know, Noel's done lots of these videos. So I was desperate to try and find questions that Noel has not seen. It might be.
That's hard.
It might actually be impossible. So hopefully, some of these questions are new. But I did go through like several different lists of like 100 questions to break with. All of them were like team geared, and I was like,
Yes. Well, I got my list. My list has 150 questions on it, and I just choose 20 out for the people, but I got my list because I actually use them when I interview people for jobs.
oh,
Yeah, because I'm that person who interviews you, who like your technical skills don't really matter. I'm a web producer, so I can teach like anybody with the right kind of brain how to do web production. So I'm more wondering if you're going to get along with my team, and so these questions are like largely geared towards that.
yeah, good way to suss out people. Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
daunting though, because if I was like in an interview mindset and I went to an interview and I got these questions, I'd be like,
Well, the other thing is working on my team is kind of absurd. So like, I just like to start people out knowing what they're going to get into right there. So
that's a good call.
yeah, you should know that it's silly all the time here.
Okay, so let's do the first question. This one was actually provided by my partner. I was like, I outsourced these, Noel. I was like, I need more ideas. So this one is question number one. If you could snap your fingers and be anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Oh, that's rough because there's so many places I would go. Oh no. Okay. Right now during the pandemic.
Let's do option A, which is during the pandemic, and then option B, which is without the P word.
Okay. Right now I would go to Disneyland because it's shut, which means that I could ride all the rides all by myself and
Oh
like
my
not
god,
have to be
genius.
with anybody else. It would be amazing.
Such a great idea. No
Right?
queues.
Not during the pandemic. It would be a toss up between like maybe London or maybe New Zealand. London is just a place like I always love going to, and I feel like it's not like a second home, but like I don't need a map anymore kind of place. It's because I can get around like central London pretty well without having to like look at the A to Z or anything like that. And it's just like part of my heart. But New Zealand is so far away, and I love it so much that like if I could just skip that plane ride and get there, I
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
So if you were going to New Zealand, you'd have to fly across the Pacific, right? Because you're on the
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. You have to fly not only like across the Pacific, but like diagonally across the Pacific. So it's like the longest route possible. I think it's like 17 hours from here.
Oh my gosh.
It's farther for you, no?
Is it?
Yeah. Because you have to cross, I think you have to cross either Africa or, yeah, you have to either cross Africa or Asia to get there. So I think your trip would be like 24 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, it's rough.
Wait.
But New Zealand is amazing. Like, I I was mind blown when I went there. We drove from the north end of the North Island to the south end of the South Island in 8 days, and we saw all sorts of stuff the whole way. So
We've
it
already
was great.
been. I hadn't realized that.
Oh yeah,
How
yeah.
was it? Did you go to Hobbiton? That's what I want to know.
No, because when I was there, like the movies had been filmed, but they hadn't opened the like Hobbiton thing because they didn't do that until after the Hobbit movie came out and
Oh,
made it a theme park. So they didn't have that option available. I did go on like a helicopter tour that like flies you over, you know, mountain peaks and stuff that are in the movie, and you can see all
cool.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's but it's absolutely stunning. That's all mostly in the South Island. That's really good. Good trip.
South. I need to be writing tips because
Um,
New Zealand was going to be the place I went to this year.
oh,
But that's obviously out.
yeah. My advice for New Zealand is don't discount the North Island. The North Island is amazing. The North Island has Waitomo in it, and you can go see the glowworm caves, and they do have glowworm caves on the South Island, but the ones in Waitomo are absolutely amazing. Like they bring you out in a boat in a lake in the dark, in the inside a cave, and they like walk it out because there's like a rope, and then they turn out all the lights, and they let you see all the glowworms, and it looks like the universe. Like it is unbelievably magical. You can also do this thing called blackwater rafting where you like get in inner tubes and you do like mini whitewater rafting, but you're like in an inner tube, so it's not that bad. But you're going through caves, so you have like headlights on and stuff, but you can turn off the headlights and see all the glowworms and stuff.
Wow,
It's really fun.
that sounds hardcore though. Like,
No, it's totally safe. It
okay.
sounds like more hardcore than it is. Like old people do this.
I mean, because like I've been like canoeing once, and I thought it was the hardest thing in my life.
Oh yeah, I mean this is like sitting in an inner tube, so it's not that complicated.
Okay, yeah. I don't have a lot of balance, and being on water.
Oh yeah, and you have to go off like little tiny waterfall things.
Ooh,
Um, but yeah, it's cool. You should do it. It's
okay,
fun. Yeah,
okay. Well, in 2026, when I go to New Zealand, I'll do the north and the south, and just spend like 3 weeks there.
yeah. That's like what I would suggest is 2 to 3 weeks for sure.
My best Hobbit life. Okay, question number 2. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, I mean, you can't kind of beat bacon,
Mm.
right? Like one of my best friends is Muslim, so she's never had bacon before, and I don't have any stake in the game for like trying to get her to cheat on anything she does, but I'm just like, man, you haven't had bacon before. That's a bummer.
Bacon is, I think bacon is something else. There's
Yeah,
just something, it's like salty, but like
yeah.
crispy. Ugh.
There's this noise that I make when I eat like specifically meat, and I go meat because that's how my body feels. Like it's just like yes. I try to eat vegetarian like 50% of the time, and sometimes your body's like, yeah, this is good, and then you smell like bacon cooking, and you're like, like yeah, bacon. I'm gonna go with
I feel
bacon.
like I could do without red meat, but like
Mhm.
bacon,
Yeah.
when it's like really, really
Although
salty.
I Korean barbecue, Japanese barbecue, they all have like red meats, and oh, those are so good too. So
I
like
haven't been. That's one of the things I really wanted to do is go to like your face.
you need to come to California for like a week and just hang out with me, and I'll just feed you the whole
Yeah,
time.
please.
Yeah. Just bring like sweatpants.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Elastic banded pants. Or we'll make caftans so we can be fancy.
Yeah, I need to make a
Yeah.
kaftan. It just looks so
Yeah.
pretty. Like you say, that coffee is stress.
Yeah. And then you can get like huge inside of it and it's fine.
Yes, I do expand when I eat. I will admit.
Yeah, Korean barbecue is like killer for that too, because it's just like constant like courses coming out. So yeah.
Oh,
So good.
oh, yeah. When I left London, just before I left London, I was planning to go with a couple of friends, like in the respite between lockdowns. but
Oh,
it never ended up happening because I think the place wasn't open. Apparently, there's like one of my friends recommended one particular place in London.
mhm.
But now that is definitely top of my list when things reopen.
Our bacon is different than your bacon.
It is, and you know why? Because when I
Why?
first moved here, I was shocked because they have these things called bacon rashers, and they're like a round. They almost look like a cutlet. It's like a round bit with a little extra bit, and it tastes more like ham
Yeah,
bacon. But then they have the
because it is
sheep
yeah.
bacon, which is the American bacon, and that's the one I like because that one gets a little.
So apparently your bacon is actually a combination of our bacon and what we call Canadian bacon, which is in Canada called back bacon.
Ah, right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So,
Oh, so this question is a personal one. No,
oh.
well, all of these are personal. I mean, that I personally wanted to. Well, all of them are basically when I was drafting the questions, I was trying it not to be like just 20 things I want to know about Noel.
You can do that too.
So, question number 3 is what is your most used emoji?
Oh, well, let me tell you. I think it's going to be a tie because I use them together, which
Oh,
is the crying laughing this way and the crying laughing this way.
really?
But here, oh, no, it's the heart with the twinkle stars on it. And
Oh,
then the two crying laughings. Yeah. I
yeah,
respond to people with hearts a lot. I'm just like, I see you.
I heard you.
Yeah.
Question number 4. You have your own late night talk show. Who do you invite as your first guest?
Ha, this is on my list.
Oh, god damn it!
So is the emoji question though, but I haven't answered them.
Oh,
My first guest. I'm gonna say Stephen Fry.
oh, okay.
I love Stephen Fry. Either Stephen Fry or Neil Gaiman, but probably Stephen Fry.
Solid choice.
Like he's just so funny, but also he's so intelligent that I'm pretty sure like the conversation would be fun. So yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
read Have you read his Greek books, the recent ones?
So I haven't, but I have them. But I did last time I was there, I randomly got a ticket because he was performing at oh, that like super famous theater that you guys have that's like all the award shows are done there. Anyway, the Palladium, maybe.
Okay.
He was doing Mythos, like a stand-up. He read some of it. I don't know. Something happened there, and I got a ticket because I was in London by myself, and they had single tickets, and I was like, yes. So I got to hear some of it there, but I haven't listened to it yet. I have this podcast with Morgan Donner, and
Oh yeah.
it's about
Links. I'll links down.
it's about like it's books. Like we read books and then we talk about them, and normally I complain about them. So or I'm like, oh my god, this was so good. So yeah. Anyway, I don't get a lot of time to read whatever I want because I have one of those to go through every other week. So yeah, at some point I will read that though. I'm like waiting for it. His voice is so soothing, and
Nice.
it's like the best thing to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It's him, and that's probably also why I like Neil Gaiman. Like I listen to their audiobooks, like the Harry Potter books that I listen to are the ones from Stephen Fry, and they help me go to sleep super easy because of his voice. He's just so good at like having the most soothing voice, and so does Neil Gaiman. So I think that's why I really enjoy both of them.
Good.
Okay, I have to sneeze. I'm like, edit this out. Wait,
Definitely keeping this in, just for the laughs. I'm joking.
no, because I'm not sneezing. I'll be like mid sentence and then be like, "Clah," and there'll be snot everywhere. And then you'll be like, I'm definitely keeping this in.
You'll be in the bloopers.
Yeah.
Great choice, Stephen Fry. I think I would definitely. I actually went to. I love QI. Like everyone loves QI.
Uh-huh.
I was a big
Same.
yeah. Like
We can't get it here though.
sorry.
We don't get it here though.
Oh really? At all?
No, you can't watch it. I mean, you can like get like snippets on YouTube, but like Even like our YouTube doesn't seem to have full episodes. And if they do, they're always, I
Oh,
think it's Sandy Powell, the chick from Bake Off.
what's the
Um, what
Tuskif?
was that?
Sandy Tuskif? That's
Yes,
yeah.
that name. She's awesome too, but she's no Stephen Fry. So, yeah. So basically, I have to VPN in, and then Netflix has it.
Yeah, Netflix here has it. And they also just like the old ones are just on YouTube here as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But we got ages ago, we managed to go and get tickets to go and be in the audience. Yeah. Because they're free. They're free tickets. You just have to
Yeah.
show up on the day and make it like be early enough to be at the beginning of the queue because
Hmm.
they always give extra tickets in case people don't show up so that they have a full audience.
Right.
But if you get turned away, they give you a priority ticket for the next recording session, which is nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Question number 5. What fictional family would you be a member of? I
Oh, like the first thing I want to say is Swiss Family Robinson,
don't-
but like I have zero adult memories of that. Like that's just from my childhood. So like I think that's probably like a bad probably like the Weasley family would be super fun. Am I wearing a Harry Potter shirt? I am. Okay. Hi. It's like
What?
mention number 4.
Wearing Harry
uh
Potter merchandise? What do you mean?
yeah. This is actually from a run. Like I did a 5K to get this shirt.
Oh, it's so nice though.
Yeah.
Oh, you ran
So
5K. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of Ks.
it's not really, it's only 3 miles. And you don't really have to run. You can just sort of walk briskly and they'll give you a t-shirt.
That's still a lot. I feel like that's still a really good achievement.
Yeah. It's like walking like for me, a 5K takes like just under an hour to walk. But like people run it in like 20 minutes.
Not this people.
Yeah. It's a nice stroll for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a nice t-shirt. So
For a nice t-shirt. It's great. Yeah.
Weasley family, that's a good shout.
Who would yours be?
Well, my first thought was the Bennets.
Oh, uh-huh.
But then I
I
thought,
mean,
did
yeah.
they need an extra daughter to marry off? I don't think they can afford it.
No. But the dad seems really nice.
I have opinions
No?
about this.
Oh. Oh, tell me. It
Well,
I'm used to watching the one where, like, isn't Donald Sutherland's isn't he Mr. Bennett in one of the movies?
I'm really bad with actor names, maybe.
Okay.
Um, but basically, when I first read Pride and Prejudice, I I thought Mr. Bennett was cool and Mrs. Bennett was hella annoying. And then
Yes.
as I got older, my opinions changed.
Okay.
I empathize a lot more with Mrs. Bennett because honestly, if I had those kinds of daughters, and yeah, I just
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
have patience for any of this really. And then Mr. Bennett, I think I talked about this somewhere. Did I do a video about Pride and Prejudice? I'm having like
You're at the point where you don't remember anymore. That's great.
um yeah, but basically like by modern standards, Mr. Bennett doesn't do anything. Like
He does not do anything, except he's really nice to his daughter.
he's really nice to Lizzie,
Yeah.
not to any of the other ones.
Yeah, but I'm most like Lizzie, so it would be fine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, the other daughters were, like, kinda garbage.
Jane's alright.
Yeah, okay, but the 2 younger ones, like, need to get bopped in the head.
Oh my god, teenagers though. Like
Yeah.
I don't think any of my audience is a teenager, but just in case. It's okay, guys. You'll make it.
You'll make it. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Oh, I got much better when I turned 16 or 17. Up until then, I was hella annoying.
Oh, I was annoying well into my 30s. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, Lydia is just the worst. I'm sorry,
Yeah, it
Lydia,
is
I'm
the
just
worst.
a teenager, but Christ alive, I don't have the patience for that.
So the girl that they got to play Lydia was also, like, the best possible person to play her because she's also, like, the chick from the Hunger Games that, like, gets naked in the and
Yeah,
I'm just like, I saw Pride and Prejudice again. I'm like, oh my god, it's her. Like that is the perfect person to play Lydia.
Oh, I know. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I do feel bad for Mrs. Bennet because she does know that if she doesn't marry off her daughters, they have no future, basically, in this society. And Mr.
Yeah, but
Bennet,
she's irritating.
yeah.
She could be less irritating about it.
Yeah. 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 For sure.
Okay, so if you're not going to be a Bennett, who are you going to be?
Uh, a Weasley is a good shout. I've always wanted to be a redhead.
Me too, with that brave costume.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my god. Looks amazing, Noel.
thanks.
Spotless. Like amazing. And that wig. Oh,
It's
goals.
nuts. It's weird though, because like it has a weird hairline and stuff, so you have to get the hair exactly right for it to take a good photo.
It has
But
a
if you get it, it's good.
like a
Yeah.
hair.
It does the aerial swoop.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's look at question number 6. Okay. This one is an odd one. I'm not sure if this is a good one. But it's complete the sentence. I wish everyone could.
Stop being racist.
Oh man, fair, yeah. No follow-up needed there.
That's it. That's why I closed my eyes. I was like, what do I wish everyone could?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think this world would be a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
if we all just stopped being racist, like so many things would stop sucking for so many people.
Question number 7. What would you do if you knew you could not fail?
Oh, does it have to be physically possible?
Oh, follow-up questions to the question?
This is on my list too, and this is the question people ask me all the time.
Oh, damn it. Oh my god, I need to get a better list. This is embarrassing. I was like, no, these are definitely never. But I also have short-term memory, so if they have come up on your videos. um, let's do option A. It has to be possible. Option B, it can be anything.
Okay, if I knew I could not fail, I would retire and travel the globe constantly
Okay.
on my giant ship or something. Do you know that they have
Everywhere.
what was that?
I feel like you've already been everywhere. Like when we talk about you
Oh,
traveling,
no.
you're like been there, been there, been there, been there.
No, no, no. There's some that's the thing about traveling is, like, the more places you go, the more places you realize you haven't gone, and you're like, "Oh, I wanna go there too." There's actually like these boats that you can buy basically an apartment on, and they're full size apartments, like a couple thousand square feet, and you furnish them completely, and it's like having an apartment building that's at sea, and they go to different locations, and they have different itineraries each year. And when they stop, they'll stop for like anywhere from 3 days to like 2 weeks in any given port. So like if they go to Tokyo, you could have a week in Tokyo to just do whatever you want off the ship, and then you come back and get get back in your room and do whatever you want, or you can sleep on the boat or whatever. But yeah, it seems like a really fun thing to do. I mean,
So do you own the ship or do you just own like a flat?
it's like a timeshare kind of, not like timeshare, but like a partial ownership. You own part of the ship.
You own that bit.
Yeah, you own that bit. It's like having here we have these things called condos where you own like everything inside the walls, and that's how it is. And then you also have to pay like, the monthly fee because there's cooks and cleaners and people who pull you into port and whatever, and you're paying for your food and stuff. So yeah, it looks like a really cool thing to do. And then if you don't want to use your apartment, you can of course loan it to other people, but you can also just get off it wherever and then fly back to wherever your land base is, and you don't have to live on it if you don't want to.
So you don't mind being at sea or anything, like you like ships.
I like ships. I'm a surface dweller. I like being on land and on a sea, but I don't like being under or above either thing. Yeah.
I think well, I remember being like 8 years old and I accidentally watched Titanic.
Oh, uh-huh.
And
I was like
that
20 when that came out.
I was too young. I was too young for it to look at it like a normal person. So
Yeah. So no boats for you.
no boats. No, no boats.
Oh man, I love being on a boat. Being on a boat's really scary though, because like if something like when I went to Antarctica, you go on these Russian research vessels, and the first day you're there, they bring you out and they show you these two tiny little things that are supposed to hold 40 people each. And like, I'm looking at me and I'm looking at the size of this thing, and I'm like, how is that going to go down? But it's a completely encapsulated lifeboat, so that if you get in the ocean and the wave, because the waves will take those ships and like completely flip them over, the thing will right itself, but you won't like get wet. So it's like, it's kind of like a submarine that like sits on the top.
Mm.
And you're like, it's like a ride. Like you put a holster down to hold you in this thing, so that they can come rescue you and stuff. So like the ocean can be scary. So I have a healthy respect for it. But
Yeah.
eh, it looks like fun.
It's just that bit, in Finding Nemo, when they go to the edge of the coral reef and there's just like nothing.
Hmm.
It's just like open and nothing. That's what terrifies
Nothing.
me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually super terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, the ocean is cool, guys. I swear.
So if I could do anything that I would do that. I would just travel all the time and like retire. And if I could not fail, then that means I would have a income source that would allow me to do this whenever I wanted to, and that would be really fun. Um, if I could do anything, I would learn how to do teleportation. Also, so I could travel.
Oh, smart operating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be great, wouldn't it? We'd be doing this
Do
in
you know? Do you know that this tattoo is? I got this because I went to all 7 continents. There's a compass in the middle, so this is the
Oh,
solar system. So I'm the sun, and this is um, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and including Pluto. Um, but yeah, I've been on all 7 continents, so like
amazing.
traveling's kind of my jam.
Do you have one of those posters that's like a map and you can put little flags everywhere you've been? Do
Uh,
you?
you scratch off the
Yeah,
country.
you
Yeah,
scratch them. Oh my god, send me a photo later. I want to see.
I haven't scratched them all off yet.
Oh, okay.
My friend gave me this poster like at Christmas time or whatever, and I haven't done it
Oh,
yet.
okay. You have to sit there for like hours.
Yeah, with a quarter, just like
Okay. This is a bit of a random one, but question number 8. Do you prefer sweet or savory?
savory. That's why I'm like meat.
Meat.
Yeah. I like sweet and salty together a lot.
Okay, okay, okay.
But when I was little, I was hypoglycemic, and now I am diabetic. And so I can't deal with a lot of sugar anyway. So I do like caramel a lot, but I think my favorite flavors are all savory. Like that like umami flavor is for sure my favorite thing.
So what kind of popcorn do you get? Do you get salty popcorn?
I will get kettle corn because that is both sweet and salty.
What the heck is kettle corn?
Kettle corn is like it's coated in salt and sugar.
Mixed
And
popcorn.
then, yeah, and then they melt it. Like, yeah. You know, maybe that's an American
I'll
thing.
be Googling this later.
Okay. Actually, I've bought some in England. They had it at Borough Market.
Our market has everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Savory. Got it. Okay. This comes back to what you said earlier. So question number 9. What's your favorite ride at a theme park? Which I assume is Disneyland or something.
Oh. Um so I mean, my favorite ride of all time is like probably the Haunted Mansion Christmas edition. And this is a controversy because during the holidays, they take Jack Skellington stuff and they put it into the Haunted Mansion, and then they take it out. And people are either pro the Jack Skellington stuff or they're pro like the regular Haunted Mansion. So that's probably my favorite ride ever. However, I do have to say at Animal Kingdom in Florida, which is a place that I don't go very often, because Florida's very far and very humid and it's not my jam, and I have a Disneyland. They have a ride that is the Avatar ride, and the Avatar ride is insane. Like they have this screen and it's like you're flying. Have you seen Avatar?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so it's like you're flying on one of those winged animals. So you're on this thing that it feels like getting on a motorcycle essentially, which I don't know how you do that if you're wearing a skirt. But it feels like you're flying, so they swoosh you around and whatever, and the screen's doing it, and they're blowing wind at you, and occasionally water and other stuff, so you feel like you're doing it, and like the screen is so crystal clear that you buy it. But more so, the thing you're sitting on is breathing. So if you sit there and you focus between, like, essentially between your legs, you will feel them like moving slightly because you're supposed to be on an animal.
But is it like stationary or is it like moving at the same time or like just standing?
The ride itself is like a room that moves, it tilts,
The
but you're
room?
always in a room. Yeah.
Oh.
But they pitch black the rest of the room and you're just like focused on that screen and it totally feels like you're riding. It's crazy.
Okay, that sounds wicked. I'll be going to Florida. Like
I
right
mean, I
away.
can't recommend the going to Florida part, but they
Yeah.
do have that ride. It is pretty awesome.
I really want to go to all of the Disneylands in the world now.
Yeah.
Uh,
The only one I haven't been to yet is Shanghai.
ooh, okay, okay. You've been to Tokyo then?
Yeah.
What did you think? Tell me.
So Disneyland in Tokyo is almost exactly like Disneyland in California because it was actually built to be an almost exact duplicate of it. So
Interesting.
I was like, eh.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, but we already got the one. Um, they have another park there called Disney Tokyo Sea, and there's some awesome stuff in Disney Tokyo Sea. Like they have some pretty cool rides there. So, I mean, I thought it was great. I did not love the food. Everybody else was like, "Oh my god, the food is supposed to be so good," and I tried a bunch of it, and I was like, "Nope, this is not great."
On popcorn though, like there's lots of different flavors of popcorn, and then some of them are different.
You
No,
love popcorn, is what I'm getting out of this
I
video.
know. I'm sorry. I love popcorn. Yeah,
um,
I went to Disneyland Tokyo in 2018, so I've only ever
uh-huh,
been to Paris and Tokyo. So going
uh-huh.
to Tokyo was like up here, and then Paris was down here.
No, come to California. I'll take you to the real one, and we will go have some actual good food.
But so you said that they put Jack Skellington stuff for Christmas?
It's Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's everything from, like, basically the end of September through, like, January 6th.
Because they put when I went to Tokyo, it was like around Halloween. So they
Mhm.
had the Jack Skellington stuff, but in the haunted mansion, but
Oh,
as
yeah, yeah.
Halloween,
Mhm.
not Christmas
Yeah.
themed. So I was like, oh,
Well, it's Nightmare Before Christmas, so it's both Halloween and Christmas, sort of.
yeah.
Dude, Hong Kong is the place to be if you like the Haunted Mansion. So they have this one there that it's trackless. So the thing isn't a haunted mansion. It's essentially a house that was owned by an adventurer who has this monkey, and the monkey has opened a secret chest, which has unleashed a curse on this house, right? So the house does all kinds of crazy stuff. Like there's curse things going on, like all of the like relics in the house come to life and they try to, like, attack or whatever. The mechanics of the ride are bitchin'. Like we went there and there was like nobody in that park, so we didn't even have to like go through the line essentially. We just kept going on it. And the path changes every time you ride on it. So there's like 3 or 4 options to go through different doors or go into different rooms in different orders or do like random stuff. And it changes every time you're on it. So there's like this whole randomization. You know how like Star
Wow,
Tours is?
that's really cool.
Yeah. So the Hong Kong one is pretty insane. Like also their Jungle Cruise is crazy. It's not funny because it's it's like Chinese stuff translated into English
All
and
right.
those jokes don't like work. But like they have fireballs spitting out at you, like there's like giant like water things happening like over like water shoots over it's crazy. Like, they also have their version of Big Thunder Mountain is super cool because it goes and like there's kind of a thing, I don't know if you want spoilers, but there's a thing that happens on it that you are not expecting to happen, and when it happens, you're like, "What?"
Okay, yeah,
So,
no spoilers, no spoilers. I still
yeah,
hope to go to all Disneylands in the world.
go to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is worth it.
I think I'll be coming to California first because I want a guided tour.
Yes, for sure. China's awesome.
Yeah, I really
If
want to.
you go, I'll go with you, and then we can go to Shanghai also.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
And
Yes.
we could go to Tokyo. I mean, we're already over there.
Okay. We just gone on a big Disney detour. That's what I was hoping with this
Surprise!
question. Okay. So, question number 10. What year would you visit if you had a time machine?
How long do I have to stay there?
Oh my God. The question doesn't tell me that.
Okay.
Your choice.
I mean, if I could just like go check it out and come back, like, 1886, like I would just go fondle all the clothes and be like, yes. And actually, what would be interesting to me would be not just going to like your standard New York, London, Paris in 1886, but I would also want to go to Japan and China and like South America and Africa and see what people were wearing in all of the places, like in Hawaii, like because there was like Hawaiian like bad stuff, bad juju started in Hawaii about then. So like there were bustle dresses in Hawaii. Um in Hawaiian fabrics and stuff. I mean, I think it would be interesting to see like the whole globe during that year.
That's really good. That's a really good, cool thing. So seeing like 1 year, but across
Yeah.
the world. Yeah.
Yeah. And because like, I have a lot of information in my brain about what the 1870s and 80s, because I'm obsessed with bustles, are specifically, but really what I know is English and French and like some American. And I don't really have a grasp on what the rest of the world was like then. Like, I mean, Europe, you can kind of assume it's kind of along the same track, but like, I don't know what Africa was like in 1886. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been, I mean, I would obviously want to go to places that I knew would be safe. Also, I'm a white woman, so that would be bizarre there, but like, like I think it'd be really cool to see that. If I could have a two-way mirror so that they couldn't see me, so I could just like look, I would be really excited.
Yeah. I see what you
Yeah.
mean for sure. Yeah. I completely agree. I feel like my knowledge is completely Western because
Yeah.
that's where we are and what we've been exposed to and what we are taught.
I think it's really important to remember though that like antibiotics and toilet paper and like other things that we really enjoy weren't a thing then. And so
Toilet paper with antibiotics.
I would be, I mean, yeah, kind of. I've only needed antibiotics a few times in my life, but I've needed it very intensely.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
needed toilet paper a lot in my life. So, I mean, it would be awesome to go to a like all of those places and then get clothes made there and then bring them back. But also I kind of want to go forward.
Oh, forward. And now I hadn't even thought of that. Oh my
Right?
God.
Most people when I ask questions that are kind of similar to this, they never say forward, but I kind of want to go forward like 30 years. Not too far. Like Back to the Future far is about 30 years, right? So like I would like to do that because I think it would be interesting to know like did we fix the climate thing? Are there flying cars? Are there water wars? Like,
Terrifying.
it's kind of terrifying, but also kind of like awesome. Like, if you could go forward and see, like, all right, it's not that bad, it's going to be okay. Then I could tell my friends, like, okay, it is actually okay to have kids or whatever, because like some people are actually like, I don't know if I want to put this on them. So I think it'd be interesting to go like forward and just like, again, I want a two-way mirror. I just want to look
Yeah.
and see and know if it's going to get better or worse.
But what if I'm such a negative, negative. I was like, but what if it is worse?
So every generation thinks what we think, though. Every generation thinks, oh, kids these days, and they think like the people before me sucked so hard, and the climate is blah blah blah. Like, wait, they have records of this back into like the 1600s, like people saying these exact same phrases, but in whatever language or whatever. So like, I don't know if it would be as bad as we think it would be. And that's what I would love to know because if I could come back and be like, no, Kat, it's cool. You'd be like, "Oh, great." You know?
like recycling, it does help. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, thank
Take
you.
shorter showers, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to kind of hope that it's not as awful as you think it's gonna be.
Yeah. Such a pessimist. Okay. Question number 11. Beach, safari, or forest vacation?
Ooh, safari. Yeah, I've been on safari. That was fun.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would go again.
How is it? How does it work?
Um, well, so it's one of those things where you're like, this is definitely like a tourist thing to do, and it depends on where you go. So I stayed in a safari park in South Africa. I've also been to Kenya and done that one. And I mean, there's a million different ones, but it's amazing. Like, you are out there and you are traveling around and there are just lions. And I mean, kind of going to Antarctica was a safari also,
Mhm.
because that's what we were doing, was looking at animals the
Yeah.
whole time. That's what the whole point was. Like, I remember when I got on the boat to Antarctica and I was just like, I just hope we get to see penguins. And they were like, girl, we got your penguins.
The
Don't
peg.
you worry about the penguins. And then I saw literally hundreds of thousands of penguins. So like they did have my penguins. But we also saw like all kinds of whales, all kinds of birds, all kinds of seals. Like, we saw so much stuff. So um yeah, I mean, I like that if they're ethical, like the safari parks are pretty ethical. Like, they're just land that is used for that, and it's like free range stuff, which I'm like super into. Then it's great because the dollars you spend to stay there in these like fairly nice places are going to help support the effort to keep the animals
Yeah, I was gonna say
as
it's
well.
invested in the land, I guess, keeping
Mhm.
land for the animal. Yeah.
Yeah. And the one in Kenya, like, there are nights that you sleep in trees, because the big cats will come and you, you want to sleep in the trees. They have like literally huts up in the trees. So
Cool.
yeah, it's very cool. There's a lot of early mornings where you get up and you go look at stuff. At animals are more easy to find and moving around in the very, dawn and dusk times. There's like more activity going on. They sleep during the middle of the day and at night, so you do a lot of get up early, go out on an exhibition, and then nap, and then go out on another exhibition, and then eat and go to sleep. But you're exhausted at the end of the day, so it's
There's
all good.
a lion like over there.
Yeah, and terrifying.
Oh, is
Like, they're big. They're real big, and then you're like, oh, and you look at them, and they're like, I'm not going to eat you because I've eaten already, and you're like,
above it.
I understand. Thank you. I am not the top of the food chain here. 100% traveling has changed my existence. You should 100% do it. Like, as much and at whatever cost you have to. Like, I've gone into debt over going on trips and I was absolutely worth it.
It's just I think there's I don't know if it's just like here or the kind of people I've known, but there's a lot of the like, oh, you'll travel later. Like, like traveling is kind of like,
When you're old and everything hurts, like, I'm already old and everything hurts, and I'm like, to some things, like getting up at dawn does not sound like fun anymore. Do it while you're young.
yeah. Question number 12. What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten?
I ate balut.
What's
Balut is an Asian delicacy in which there is a egg, and it is somewhere between egg and bird. It's gross. Can't recommend it. Don't do it, folks.
so it's
It's
like
like
developed into a bird, but it's not
kinda.
hatched.
Yeah, yeah. It's like halfway there.
Oh, that is weird.
It's weird. Can't recommend it. Don't do it. I did get offered the fermented shark head in Iceland, and I said no, thank you to that.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Uh, okay, I was expecting something something very mild. Wow.
I've
Oh,
eaten all kinds of weird stuff and all kinds of weird like, I've eaten things that I'm, like, kind of ashamed I've eaten, so,
yeah.
um, because like, I traveled when I was younger and I didn't know any better, and people were like, "Do you wanna try this?" And I'm like, "Okay," but, like, I mean, when I was in South America, I tried the guinea pig, and, I hope to God Bernadette's not watching this. I think she actually already knows I've done it, but yeah, does taste like chicken.
Cool. I mean,
It's
okay.
local food, yo. I mean, you gotta eat it. I'm
Yeah.
in Morocco, I had pigeons, you know.
Like, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty like, I don't know, like coming into England, like just stuff that we would eat in Portugal is considered weird
Uh-huh.
here. But like just normal things like snails, and they're like,
Yeah.
ugh, snails, I could never eat snails. And I'm like, they're delicious. What are you talking about?
I've never tried snails, weirdly. I would. I'm allergic to some foods, like, I can't eat shellfish and stuff, so, like, the stuff I can eat, I will try.
And
I
mayo,
haven't got
mayo and mushrooms, right?
mayo, mushrooms, and mustard, yeah. We yellow mustard.
I remember from our 20 questions because I was like, oh my God, no, that's like some of my favorite things.
I've done just fine.
Yeah.
I would totally try snails, although I'm a texture eater, so I think the texture would get me. Like, I don't think I would like it very much, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah, well, there's two different kinds of snails. You have like the people are going to click off at this point. you've got like you've got like the tiny small snails, and which in Portugal are done like with sort of like a beery kind of sauce. And then you have them in the summer, like in the heat of the summer, you have a plate of them or a bowl of them and a beer, and that's like the afternoon snack. Or you can have the big ones. And the cafe in my hometown across from my grandma used to make these big snails, like this big, but with like this garlic butter sauce and like loads of salt. Oh, so good.
You just made the noise.
Yeah, the bacon noise.
Meat.
Snails. It doesn't sound the same. Okay. 13. 13. What is your favorite thing to do by yourself?
Oh, I gotta think about this one. It's my favorite thing to do by myself. I'm an only child, so I do most things by myself. Oh, I know what it is.
Okay.
I like to go to the movies by myself.
Oh, really?
I love it.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I'm an only child, so, I'm very adept at being alone, and I'm married to an only child, and my only child husband likes to do stuff that is completely not what I wanna do, and we are both cool with that. So, there are times when I will go to the movies by myself, or, like, if he's out of town, I'm like, "I'm going to the movies." I love it because I don't have to I can watch what I want, I can get there as early as I want, I can eat the food that I want, I don't have someone talking to me through the whole thing, no one's unwrapping their hard candy next to me through the whole thing, like, I love it. I love it. I like, tangentially, I also like going to the theater by myself, like a play. The only thing that sucks about that is, like, when you're done, you can't be like, "Oh my god, that was so good."
Yeah.
But it's okay, I have the internet for that.
I really like after going to the to the movies, going to the cinema, and like we have that walk to the car where we like discuss the film. That's like one of my favorite things. Except, yeah, yeah. But I can see why going alone is good as well, because like there's been so many films that I
Yeah,
haven't gone to see because like whoever I was going with didn't want to see them. So
yeah.
never again.
Well, also, like, I have these, like, super they're gamers, they're intellectual, they're, like, whatever friends, and I go to movies with them a lot, and what that means is when you leave the theater, they just start tearing the movie apart, like, they will point out every plot hole, they will do like, and I don't wanna know about that stuff, I just wanna like my Avengers movie, like,
Yeah.
honestly, like, I don't need to know why it's problematic that Black Widow blah, 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 like, shut up. Like, I just want to enjoy the fact that I just saw that movie and it was awesome and things blew up. So, like, sometimes I like that walk to be solitary.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it makes
Yeah.
complete sense, yeah. I used to work at the cinema, so I
Oh,
have, like, flashbacks of
I
knowing
would have enjoyed that. I would have watched all the movies.
it was nice because you did get free ticket, you could basically just go. Okay. Question number 14. What are the best and worst purchases you've ever made? This was because you asked me that one about what's the best thing I bought during the pandemic, and it took me a solid 5 minutes to answer you.
This is like ever made.
Yeah, ever, 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 ever.
Okay, my best purchase was my passport.
Oh,
Ah,
Noel. Okay.
okay, I'll think of another thing. Um, what is the best purchase I've ever made? I mean, like my cats. I love, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
The worst purchase I've ever made. Like, I'm just like all the clothes that I bought that I like, I'm not that girl and I would never wear those clothes and I don't know why I paid money for them. And like, I mean, I have like handbags that I paid a lot of money for that I was like, but I'm not that girl. Like, that was some girl I thought I could be, maybe, but I was so wrong. I'm just not that girl. So probably like that kind of stuff. Just like useless spending of cash that I'm never ever going to use the thing. It's different if it's fabric because there's always potential.
yes.
There's not a lot of potential in those things that I bought that I'm like never gonna wear.
I used to get really like going shopping was like a thing, like that you would do with your friends. Like you just
Yeah,
go shopping, even if you didn't need anything, you just go
yeah,
shopping, and then you get wrapped up in that, and you're like, I gotta buy something. I came shopping, and then you get something, but you didn't really need the thing, and
yeah,
maybe don't even really want the thing, but you had to
yeah.
buy the thing because you went out to do the. Yeah, I don't go shopping anymore.
I mean, I go out shopping sometimes when I just wanna, like, browse, but really I'm going out walking because I don't wanna buy anything, and I know that now. But I feel like when I'm going fabric shopping soon, and I don't need any fabric, but I'm like, "I'm totally gonna buy fabric."
Fabric is different. Fabric doesn't like it will be used. It will be used.
Yes. Also, then I can sit on it like a giant dragon horde. It's great.
Yes,
It's what I wanna do. And even if I don't use it to make costumes, I can still sit on it like a dragon, and that will be fine also.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, and then like 6 months later, you like open the cupboard and you're like, oh, I forgot I got you,
The
gorgeous.
Meredith skirt was like that. I was out searching for fabric, and then I just was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I have a stash." And I looked in the stash, and there was like the fabric, and I was like, "Why don't I just open this drawer more often?"
Thank you, past me.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, question number 15. What is your guilty pleasure?
I'm not a very guilty person. I'm proud of it. I'm like, "Is there anything I actually hide?"
Well, it's a weird mindset, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
something that
I
you're
mean,
not meant to like or whatever.
honestly, it's Coke. Like, I love Coca-Cola like it is the sweet honey nectar of the gods, and it is so unbelievably bad for me, and it's bad for everyone. Like, let's just start with it's bad for everyone. Specifically really bad for me, and I'm like, "Oh, I just need it sometimes." Like, there are days when I'm just like, I don't drink coffee. I do drink tea, but not very often, like, but Coke is my jam. So, so I buy these tiny Cokes. We have little ones here that are like,
Like the plain ones.
yeah, or a cherry or whatever. You can get almost any soft drink in like tiny format. They're like 8 ounces instead of 12 ounces. So they're 3 solid gulps of Coke. So I've compromised myself down to I'm allowed to have one of those every few days.
Okay, cool.
But I have to eat it or I have to have it with food because then it like helps and distribute the sugar out into my blah blah blah. But like Coke is my guilty pleasure. Like there are days that I will do extreme things for Coke.
Coke. And is it like, does it have to be Coca-Cola or can it be like Pepsi or does that matter?
No, it cannot be Pepsi. It must be Coke.
Oh no! I just exposed myself.
Are you a Pepsi drinker?
I really couldn't care less. They all taste the same to me.
Oh, they taste totally different to me. I will drink Pepsi like in a pinch, but it does not have the same satisfying situation as Coke does for me.
I think
And
I
I actually really like cherry Coke. I cherry Pepsi is really good too, though. I will drink cherry Pepsi.
I will say that when Five Guys first opened in the UK and I went, it was the first time that I had a Coke flavor that wasn't Coke.
Oh.
because they have the little machine
Mhm.
where you can pick like
Yep.
600 different flavors. And I had
Uh-huh.
like no other restaurant that I've ever been to. I like the lime. I like
Whoa, lime's good though, but I use actual lemon in my Coke.
yeah, yeah, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. How else would you drink Coke? Yeah.
Like, I am addicted to Coke. Like, I crave it, and if I don't have it for a really long time when I went to South America, I was on, altitude pills for a lot of that trip, and when you have the altitude pills, like, to make sure that you are fine at altitude, it makes carbonated beverages just taste real bad. Like, they all just taste bad. It's just, like, one of the side effects, and they warned me about it before I did it, like, before I took them, and then I went there and I ordered a Coke at dinner, and I was like, "Blah." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, they said this was gonna happen." So I didn't have it for, like, 6 weeks, and then I came back, and I had to, like, let the altitude sickness medicine wear off, and then I had my first Coke, and I was like it was like crack. I was like, "Yes!
Sweet nectar of the gods, as you say.
I am a golden god. Like, this is so good."
Okay, question 16. What website, that's not a word. What website or app doesn't exist, but you really wish it did?
Oh, I wish there was an aggregator for all of my streaming services so that I did not have to go out of the streaming service, figure out which thing hosts the thing I want to watch, and go back into it. Apple TV kind of does that, but it always tries to sell you stuff also. I don't want that. I just want it to like show me every movie I own because I have a bunch of digital movies that I own in a whole bunch of different places and all of the programs that I can watch on any given streaming service. Like I want it all aggregated.
I agree. That's a really good one.
I mean, I think that service would be so useful. I cannot believe it doesn't exist. It probably like so many people have thought of doing it and tried to do it and realized that the services won't let them do it. Like the Netflix is just like, I'm not doing stuff with Hulu, you know? And then you're like, fine, be inconvenient.
I think maybe that'll be available in the future. Like, surely in such a streaming driven society now, like at some point.
This is what I could do with my time machine is go find out if the streaming service exists.
That and global warming.
Yeah, you know, important things.
Okay, question, where are we? Oh, I like this one. I was really curious about this one. Question 17. What topic could you give a 20-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Oh, I mean, web production for sure. Like, you want to know how websites are made? I got this. Probably Victorian era, late Victorian era fashion. I could probably do a year by year summary of how the silhouette changed and why and who did what to make that change. Um, I could be a lot more learned about that, but I could give a 20-minute thing about it. I could give a 20-minute thing about most of the countries I've been to.
Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting. Okay, okay.
like each. You know,
Oof.
you want to talk about New Zealand for 20 minutes? I can talk to you for I can tell you 20 minutes worth of stuff about New Zealand. Easy. So, London, England, Scotland, you want to know? I got it. So,
Wow. Okay, so that's an hour in presentation.
yeah, I've also been to a lot of places so I could do hours and hours and hours
Yeah,
and hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the next video, guys. It'll be 20 minutes with Noel.
They're like
20-minute
unsubscribe.
presentation. Um, okay, question number 18. Oh, okay, this one is a hard one. Okay. Um, but what book had the most significant impact on you?
Oh, I know what movie it would be, but I don't know what book
Oh,
it
let's
would
have
be.
that too. What's your what movie?
Weirdly, Beetlejuice.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh my god, it's good. It holds up too. You should watch it. Um, it was the first time in my life where I saw and heard because there's music from Danny Elfman that and I love Danny Elfman. Um, where I thought to myself, "Oh my god, there's other people out there like me." And I had not had that until that moment. So that really impacted my life. Like I was like, "Oh, great. I'm not that weird." Like they made a movie. They made a like major motion picture for people like me. So that means there's other people like me. This is fantastic. Um, book. I have like weird answers to these things. So like I read this book one time. Weirdly, I was in England and I was traveling around when I was 17 and I was reading this book called The Celestine Prophecy. Have you ever read this? It is some new age hippie crazy talk stuff in it. But at the time, I was I grew up in Orange County and San Diego and LA, and my mom is very liberal, but I was also raised by grandparents who were like conservative, like they were Reagan voters and whatever. If anybody isn't from America, Reagan was the president in the 80s, who caused like a lot of global turmoil that we are still like reckoning with at this point. So like I was switching from being conservative-ish to being liberal at the time. And I was also going through this period in my life where I spent 4 or 5 years looking for faith in a religion of some sort. And I went through all kinds of religions. And I read that book at the exact right time as I was like in York, like on the banks of the river, reading by the like it was like a 17-year-old montage dream, you know, like it was cheesed out like you wouldn't believe. Or like I was in, Inverness in Scotland reading it at 4 in the morning when the sun was up because it was July and the sun is up in Inverness at 4 in the morning. Just like random places that were so beautiful and I had seen before, but like I guess I hadn't probably seen those two places before. And so like my world was like blooming, right? And that book put in ideas into my mind that like probably affected me more than I give it credit for because it showed me possibilities that I hadn't ever considered before about how humans are and why humans are and what could be an afterlife and just like all this other stuff. Like now I'm like, if I read that book now, I'd probably laugh at myself for saying this. But like I think at the time it was that one.
That's a really good answer. What do you mean a
Yeah.
weird answer? That's amazing. That's like the best case scenario. It's like you actually
Well, I mean, I think if you read it right now, you'd be like, no, this book is really weird.
it's not about the book, it's about the impact. And like
Yeah.
it seems to be have been really like hinged something in your life. And
Yeah. It opened the flower a little bit, you know?
plus it seems like it was at a really formative time. Like so
Hmm.
yeah.
I
That's
mean, Beetlejuice was also, I think I was like 13 or 14 and like to realize at 13 or 14 that there are other people like you when you live in a place where no one is like you. Like I'm weird. I like nerd stuff, I like Tim Burton stuff, that kind of thing, and like nobody else I knew was into that stuff because I went to like high school in Orange County. So like the OC is actually like that, guys. So
oh yeah. Oh drama. Ooh. Mhm.
right? So like imagine me being surrounded by people from the OC and then being like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
It's okay to be weird. It's fine.
You heard it here first, guys. um that was a really good one, Noel. Okay, we're nearing the end. So question 19. If you could have I think you did, I think this is in your if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Ah,
No question. Just like
you thought about that.
because like I could be doing this in person with you.
Yeah, well, I can't have people in my house yet. But yeah,
Oh, well they wouldn't know and I've been vaccinated, so I'm fine.
yeah. Oh man, I just want a vaccine.
So yeah, teleportation easy.
I put in this question because the other day I was talking to someone and I picked the dumbest superpower
What is it?
ever. It's so dumb. But basically, like, I don't think I have the makings to be a hero. I'm too anxious. So I need a superpower that isn't necessarily designed to be a hero. And what I think my superpower should be is that, when you're walking down the street and you smell something really nice, you smell food really nice.
Uh-huh.
but you don't know where it's coming from and you don't know what it is, right? So my
Uh-huh.
superpower would be that I'd be able to tell, even if we're like in Soho and there's like food everywhere, I'd be able to tell exactly where that smell is coming from and which dish it is.
That is the most useful superpower ever. That is better than teleportation in my book. I thought you were gonna tell me that like you want the superpower where you can like make the perfect pancake every time without screwing up the first one or something really dumb.
No.
I had someone tell me that one time and I was just like, what a waste of an answer.
Yeah, that's just a pancake. Like, yeah, you waste the first one, but someone will eat it anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
If you put enough maple syrup on them, they're all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I like butter and jam on my pancakes.
Ah, interesting.
Mhm. Try it sometime. Like boysenberry jam with a little bit of butter on pancakes is delicious.
We'll try. And finally, is a hot dog a taco? Well, I'm just kidding. What's your what's your happy place? So like, when you're meant to like close your eyes and go to your happy place. What's your happy place?
It's my bed for sure. Like my nest is like we call it the nest. I do everything in my bed that I physically can do. So like if I'm allowed to eat in my bed, I eat in my bed. Like if like my husband doesn't care if I hang out with him or whatever, he'll bring me food to my bed. Like I will watch TV, I will work, I will edit videos, I will do anything I can in the nest. I just want to be in the bed at all times.
Must be a
If
really
I'm
good
not if I'm not somewhere else in the world, I'm trying to get back to my bed. I spend so much time in this room that like I yearn for my bed. I'm just like, I'm gonna go get in the bed for 20 minutes, and then I go get in there, and then like 6 hours passes, and I'm like, Instagram hole, sorry.
So it's like it's your bed specifically, not just any bed. It's your
Yeah,
bed.
it's my bed. Although when I travel, you're gonna laugh. I bring
No,
a I bring what would you guys call it? You call it a duvet. I bring a duvet and my pillow with me everywhere I go.
no.
Yeah, I brought one to Antarctica. I brought one last time I was in London. When I went on that trip around Europe, I had one. When I've been to Africa, I've had them. Yes.
Isn't that like a whole extra suitcase just for that?
No, because they're stuffed with feathers, so they flatten out and they're just like super thin at the top. And usually, like, if I'm traveling by myself, I bring a twin size one, so it's really small. Actually, it's not very much, and they only weigh like 2 or 3 pounds, really. And then if my husband's coming, I bring the queen size one. Yeah,
Wait, so if you don't call it duvet, what do you call it in America?
a comforter.
Oh, a comforter. Oh, that's nice because it doesn't
Did I tell you what happened in England last time I was there?
matter.
So I was staying in this hotel, and it was at Leicester Square. Yeah, and I something happened. I don't know what it was, but they took my comforter and put it inside their duvet cover, I guess. And I couldn't find my comforter when I got to the room, and I was freaking out. Like I was like, I need my comforter. And the guy that it was like 11 o'clock at night because we had gone to a play or whatever. And I came back and I'm like, where's my comforter? And I thought that they had sent it out for cleaning, but we were leaving because they could think it was theirs. And I was trying to explain to them that I brought my comforter with me and it's not in the room and I can't find it and blah blah blah. And they didn't understand what a comforter was because they don't speak American. And so I'm sitting there trying to have this conversation and I'm freaking out because like I cannot sleep without it. Like I am like Linus from the Peanuts. I need my blankie. And so I was just like, and I was so upset that I was gonna lose that thing because we were at the beginning of a very long trip. And I was just like, no, like we have to go to IKEA so I can buy a new one. Um, so um Anyway, it turns out the next day that the person comes up and she goes, it's inside the duvet cover that's on your bed. I'm like, where's the duvet that was inside that duvet cover before? She's like, oh, we took it out and put yours in. I'm like, how would anyone know that? Like, you should not do that. Like, so yeah,
That is an odd situation to be in.
yeah. But I have like down stuffed pillows and stuff. So I bring my own bedding with me wherever I go.
Yeah.
Like, I've even been known to bring my own sheets. Like,
Wow. I mean, to be fair, I feel like that's a good tactic because I have been in some dodgy hotels where
yeah,
like it's all like you know
weird.
when you like feel,
Yes,
yeah.
I know. Um, also, like, it's such a minor thing for me to bring with me. It doesn't hurt anyone else for me to bring it. It
Hey,
doesn't inconvenience anyone else because I carry it. And like, if it makes everyone have a better trip because I have rested better,
yeah,
why not do the thing?
yeah.
So I just do. I mean, I like a good night's sleep, so I try to make sure everyone is gonna have a good night's sleep.
Really, when you have a good night's sleep, like the whole day just goes better. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it. It's just so much better.
yeah. Especially when you're traveling, because like it's like fun, but it's also like a weirdly stressful thing to be doing because you're like trying to figure stuff out all the time and you're like and
Oh my
everything is new and whatever. So like
god, you didn't
just do the thing.
because I find traveling so stressful. Like, because if I'm traveling with people, I'm always like, we can't leave without seeing all of these things. But also,
Mhm.
are you having fun? Are you sure you're having fun? Are you really enjoying this? How could I make this better for you?
We should travel together. We would have fun.
Yes, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's my last question. Question number 20. I
I
don't
think we
have
just talked
more.
for an hour and a half about random stuff.
I know, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
People liked, oh yeah, if anybody wants to see Kat doing 20 questions on my channel, Kat, we leave a link down to your thing down below because you can come see her answer. We also talked for an hour and a half then. Actually, we talked for 2.5 hours and I cut an hour out of it.
Yes. I don't know how much I will cut out of this. Probably nothing. Depends on what Noel wants out or not. And yeah, thank you so much, Noel. This has been amazing. Always fun
Thank
to
you for
chat
having me.
to you. And if you guys please check out Noel's channel, it will be everywhere. Really cool. She
Summer.
makes all the things. Bustle, goddess. And I'll see you guys next week.
Bye guys.